All right, hello everybody. Welcome to part two of the video. I didn't want to make this into just one video. I thought it'd be very long and I thought I'd ramble on too much. So I just made a second part to this video. So let's talk about the squad and who I would bring in next season, who I want to see come in to the team. So let's get started with the goalkeepers. At the current moment, we have Courtois, Navas, Lucas, and Lunin, who's currently on loan. I think for the goalkeeping position, we're fine. We don't need anyone else, especially with Navas coming back in that first starting goalkeeper position is fantastic. I think Courtois just needs to, be the second goalkeeper and just hopefully come good for us. I know he could. I know he could. I know he has it in him. I seen it at Atletico Madrid. I saw what a great goalkeeper he was. I just remember when I would see him at Atletico Madrid, and I was like, man, I wish I could see him playing for Real Madrid. But then when he went to Chelsea, like I was surprised. You know, I saw a totally different goalkeeper, and then I was like, okay, he's not that great finally. So, and I still don't see it now. So I just don't know if he can replicate that form that we saw at Atletico Madrid. But as of right now, Courtois, yeah, it hasn't really worked out. So it's great to see Navas back in that starting goalkeeper position, and just hopefully Navas can not get injured too often, so that way we just see him all the time there. I think as Real Madrid fans, we're just a lot more reassured when Navas is there versus Courtois. As for defenders, let's go with the right back position: Carvajal, Odriozola, and then we have Hakimi, he's on a loan. He's not technically on a loan. He's bought by Dortmund, but we do have the buyback clause in him. So if ever we want to get it back, we can get it back without a problem. Now, what I would like to see at the right back position is Carvajal, and then Hakimi as your second option, and then Odriozola as the third option for next season. Odriozola is really good. He still has a lot to learn. As I saw last game, he made quite a few mistakes, but he's very good. The potential is there. He's very fast. Um, but I really like Hakimi. I've seen him Hakimi. I just think he is at the Real Madrid level. He really is there. He's so good, and hopefully we could just continue seeing him, seeing what he's all about, and hopefully we just see him back here next season. So at the center back position, we have Ramos, Varane, Vallejo, Nacho, and we have Militao, who's going to be coming in the summer. Now for the center back position, this is kind of a contentious decision or topic, because although we do have Ramos and Varane, it's just about if one of those get injured, who do we have? We have Nacho, who can do quite a good job, and we have Vallejo, but Vallejo is injury prone, as we have seen these past, I would say, 3 to 4 years. He's just never been able to stay fit. So Vallejo is just kind of one of those players who I just don't want to depend on too much. But we do have Nacho, thank goodness, and Nacho always proves to be a reliable player. So, and then we have the arrival of Militao. So I think we'll be fine in the center back position. I don't think we'll need anyone. As for the left back position, there you go. Okay, camera was blurry a little. Yep, it's fine. As for the left back position, we have not Nacho. We have Reguilon, Marcelo, and Theo Hernandez. What do I think of those players? Well, Marcelo's lost the art of pace, like I said earlier. So it's just a question of whether he can get back up to fitness or if he really is on the decline. That's what I'm questioning at the moment. And if he is on the decline, then it's going to be tough for him to get a starting position at Real Madrid. And I think with Reguilon and Theo coming up, I think we'll be fine for the left back position. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. As for midfielders, in the CDM position, we have Casemiro and Llorente. I think we're fine for that. Llorente does get injured quite a bit, but Casemiro usually proves to be reliable, so I think we'll be fine. As for the center midfielder positions, we have Cruz, Modric, Valverde, Ceballos, Lucas Silva, and Kovacic. So maybe just a few things to say on that one. Valverde, I know he was on loan last year. I think last season. I think it was to Deportivo La Coruña, but Valverde was on loan, and so far at Real Madrid, I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen what he's all about. I've heard good things about him. I just haven't seen him at Real Madrid. I haven't seen it. Hopefully, someone can enlighten me, because so far from what I've seen, he hasn't provided much. But like I said, hopefully I'm proved wrong. Dani Ceballos, up and coming. I I haven't seen it much from him yet, but I'm starting to see it a little bit more. Hopefully, he does come good for us. But as second options, I think it's fine for right now. Modric and Cruz. Cruz is fantastic passer of the ball. I think for that position we're fine. As for Modric, I think Modric is just getting a little bit slower. He's losing that yard of pace that he once had, and I think that's going to prove to be a problem sometimes. The tracking back is going to be tough. He can't play all these games, so we'll definitely have to get another center midfielder. And I think Kovacic would just be fantastic. Kovacic is on loan at Chelsea. Currently in sixth place. They don't even have a Champions League spot. The coach has got it all wrong. He's probably assessing the situation at Real Madrid versus the one at Chelsea, and I think Chelsea even have the how do you say it, the ban that you can't eat, the transfer ban. So Kovacic will have to come back to Real Madrid. It's just a question of whether and Kovacic really can get along well and will get along well. So I would like to see Kovacic at Real Madrid. I always thought of him as the replacement for Modric, and I think next season will prove to be that year for Kovacic that we've all been waiting for. And Lucas Silva, if you guys don't know, he's a Brazilian loanee. He's been at the club for 4 years, but we've barely seen him. We haven't seen him much. He's now 26 years old. I don't know what's going to happen with him, to be honest, but ever since he had those heart problems, it's never really worked out for him, and I don't know if it'll ever work out for him. So just have to see. He's on loan, and Zidane will probably assess that situation and decide whether if not he's going to be sold in summer. As for attacking midfielders, we have Isco, Brahim Diaz, Odegaard, and James. Now James is going to be sold for sure, 100%. You have Odegaard and Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz is currently at the club. Odegaard is on loan at Vitesse, and then Isco is currently at the club. I think he's just going to keep Isco. I think he's just going to keep Isco, and then Brahim Diaz and Odegaard they're going to go on loan again. I think that's just good. That's what's going to happen. Attacking midfielders, we don't need that many. Sometimes we don't even play that formation under Zidane, so I think just Isco will be enough. As for the forward line, we have Asensio, who can play the left-hand flank. We have Vinicius, who can play there. We have Bale, who can play there. And I think that's it. And then we'll have Rodrigo, who's coming to the team. So Bale obviously is going to be gone. That's for sure, 100%. So we're going to have Asensio, Vinicius, and Rodrigo, pretty much. Is that enough? Well, not really. Asensio, well, it could be enough. Vinicius is doing good. He's learning. That's the thing, and that's the problem. He's learning. I don't really like that, but Asensio is a great player. Think he can do that left-hand flank without a problem. He can play even center attacking midfielders at times, so for the attacking midfielder position, we'll be fine. Yeah, it's tough to say. Let me get back to that one. As for the striker position, we have Benzema, we have Mariano, and we have Raúl de Tomás. So for the striker position, I think we'll be fine. We don't need to buy anyone, to be honest. Benzema, fantastic. Great form this season. He hasn't really suffered any, declivities or any downslopes. He's been just a great player all season, and I'm surprised. Usually what we see with Benzema is kind of he goes like this, right, throughout the season. He has these little periods or these little lapses where he does really good, and then he does he has a little period where it's horrible. Everything goes the wrong way. It goes all bad. But so far this season, he's been good. And hopefully we could just continue to see that Benzema. But he is 31. He can't play all the games. And as we've seen this season, he does tend to to get tired. I mean, it's normal, You're 31 years old. You're not going to be the same player as you were in your 20s. And so, especially with the emergence of Mariano and Raúl de Tomás, I think we're just going to be seeing two up-and-coming strikers who are very, very good. And I think we'll definitely compete for that striker position. Mariano, just a fantastic player, got the number 7 shirt last season, and he's definitely going to live up to it. I think he's just a great player. He's hungry, he runs, he presses. he wants to prove something. This guy's from the Dominican Republic, and I definitely think that he just wants to prove to his country that he's got that quality. He's at Real Madrid for a reason. He's a great player. I just want to see more of him, and I think Zidane will give him the minutes. When Zidane was coaching Real Madrid, I think we saw that Mariano was able to get minutes under him. So I think we'll see more of Mariano. And then Raúl de Tomás, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think Raúl de Tomás was coached by Zidane in the Castilla. So definitely we'll be seeing more of Raúl de Tomás under Zidane. And I just think he's fabulous. I mean, man, Raúl de Tomás, such a good player. He can score with both feet. He's fast, direct, hold up play, everything. He's such a great player. So we'll be seeing those three strikers, and I think we don't need anyone else. Borja Mayoral coming back from loan, I don't see much from him. He hasn't had a really good loan spell. I think he just has 2 goals for Levante right now, so he's not doing that great. And then we'll see Rodrigo coming from Brazil, who we already have an agreement with. So is that enough? And then actually, maybe just one thing. On the right, we have Lucas Vasquez. And that's it. So we definitely need someone on the right. For sure, 100%. I mean, Lucas Vasquez, great squad player. His work is admirable, but we definitely need someone else on the right. Now, for the transfers, who would I take? Hazard for sure is going to come in the summer, and I would take him in a heartbeat. I have talked about his inconsistencies, but I think Hazard's going to just be a great player for us. He's inconsistent, but if he doesn't step up, other players will step up. When he steps up, the other players won't step up. So that's the thing. And so Hazard for sure, I would like to see it. Mbappe, definitely. I think I don't know if it'll happen 100%, but Perez even hinted at this yesterday. It was said by the president that Zidane would do something with Mbappe. He didn't. He said he was asked about it, and pretty much what he said was that I'm sure he'll do something. I'm sure Zidane will do something with Mbappe since he's French or something like that. And I think he was also asked if he'd take Neymar or Mbappe, the president. And Perez was just going crazy. He said he'd take both, So Perez just like giving all this information to the press is just going crazy. But yeah, Mbappe I would take in a heartbeat, and Hazard. Those are pretty much the 2 players that I would take in the forward positions. And then let's see. I wouldn't take Neymar for sure. Neymar, I just don't want to see it at Real Madrid. It's too, how can I say it? It's too much about him. It's too much about his own personal selfishness, self-esteem, narcissism, whatever you want to call it. The team has to be about him, and I don't want a team like that. I'd rather have a team that can win cohesively as a team, where everyone kind of shines out. It's not just one person that just shines out. And the other one actually is Icardi. Now, Icardi I wouldn't take either. I know some people will probably dislike this decision, but I wouldn't take Icardi because of the wife. That's the only reason I wouldn't take him. I think Icardi is a great player, but if he didn't have the wife, I take him. I take him in a heartbeat. The only thing is he's got that wife with him. Now, I mean, it's fine that he's married to her, but she is too much drama, and she could break the dressing room in a heartbeat. That's the problem, and you do not. That's the last thing you want. That's the last thing you want. You don't want to bring in something like a Pandora's box and open it and just find a whole bunch of evil in there. So I'd rather not bring him. And anyways, we have Raúl de Tomás, we have Mariano who's up and coming. I think we'll be fine. As for the midfield positions, there's a couple midfielders that I would like to see at Real Madrid. One of them being Paul Pogba. It won't happen in a million years, but we can always try. Paul Pogba is just a fantastic player, can do everything creative, everything like that. But we have Kovacic, we have Modric, we have Cruz, Ceballos. We might be fine. We might be fine. But Paul Pogba is just one of the elite players. If it's not Paul Pogba, Conte would be good. Conte is just tenacious. You know, can run so much. Defensively, he's very good. Conte could definitely be an option. And that's really all I take. That's really all I take. All so pretty much in summary, what I take is Mbappe and who else? Eden Hazard. Those are pretty much the only players that I take. Cardi, like I said, the wife is just too scary, and Neymar is just it's all about him. I don't want a player like that. That's the last thing I want at Real Madrid. And that's pretty much the transfers that I'd like to see. In the midfield, I would say one more midfielder would be great, Conte or Paul Pogba, something along those lines. But I doubt that'll happen. I think those are two. It's a far stretch. It's a far cry. I don't think it'll happen. So that's all I have to say for today. Thanks for watching. This video is probably a little bit longer than the other ones, and I didn't want to make them that long, but it came out. It is what it is. It is what it is. And that's pretty much my thoughts on the transfers. Let me know what you guys think of the transfers. Who do you think we should bring into the club, and why do you think we should bring them? Because although these Hazard and Mbappe might be possible, and it's more likely than that will happen. Let me know maybe of someone who maybe we haven't heard of too much. A transfer that just might happen that might take the world by surprise. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a good day and have a good night wherever you are.